I love you. Those 3 words. I love you. It's something that is very difficult for us to say, to tell people. And by us, I mean me. And I mean you. And sometimes we hold a lot of love in our hearts. This doesn't only go for love, it goes for all kinds of feelings that we don't express. What happens to me is when I don't express love, when I don't say, I love you to someone I love, when I feel that love for them, I love you, by the way, I get this lump in my throat. And this lump is telling me that, just fucking say it, man. Just fucking say it. And I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. But what if that person doesn't love me back? And the throat chakra is like, the throat chakra, the energy center of the throat. In yoga philosophy, you don't need to believe it to feel it. My throat chakra says to me, come on, dude, what the hell? Just say it. Like, I'm telling you, or else I'm gonna keep making you feel like shit here. And I'm like, but what if the person misinterprets it, and what if that person just abandons me? And the throat chakra is like, and this guy. And then he's just kind of like pushing you. And one day, you will get to the point where you realize that, I think I should listen to this guy. And so you start saying, I love you to people you love. When you say I love you, something really cool happens. First of all, the lump in your throat is gone. If you don't get a lump in your throat when you can't say I love you, it's either because you're not enough in touch with your body and emotions, or it's because we're different people. And for me, it works like this, and for you, maybe it works differently. But apart from saying it, just uttering those 3 words, it's also important that you give it away, you give love away. You give it from a heart-centered space, and you say, I love you. And when you say it, you mean it. Just like if I say, oh, have a nice day, I mean it. But if I say, have a nice day, I mean it. The first time I didn't mean it. So, what is it? Nice interruption. If anything, that you are suppressing, something that you are failing to express, because this is what authenticity is all about, guys. It's about expressing yourself without fearing the response. Let me repeat that. Without fearing the response. It's about giving. It's about giving your own voice to the world, because, it's a good thing for you to express yourself. If you don't, people won't know what you want. They won't know what you want to say. And there will be a lot of confusion, and you will probably not be in a very good place. Not as good as it would be if you just said what you wanted to say, right? But there are so many times in our lives where we're just not able to say what we want to say to people. I don't know why. There are probably a gazillion of reasons why people won't be able to say things to express their truths. But I think the main reason is because we're afraid. We're afraid of what the other person is going to think about us. And I think that's the fundamental reason why we hold back on so much. But think about it. If you were to say, I love you, to someone you love, to someone you haven't been able to tell, I love you to. And what would be the worst case scenario of that? Okay, sure, that person gets scared. That person doesn't feel the same way. He or she hangs up the phone or just walks away, okay? That's the worst case scenario. I don't know. I mean, they could kill you, but I don't think that would happen. Except, I mean, it's not a movie. Not really. So, think about it. If this person didn't love you in the first place because he or she got so fucking scared when you said it, then again, someone might get scared just because they're not able to say it. And in that case, they've got something to work on as well. If none of you say it, nobody's gonna know that the other person loves the other one. And so you're not gonna have a loving relationship. So, just so you know. If you say it first, you're going to have the advantage because there will be no expectation on you. And then is it because you see, if you tell someone that you love them and you kind of want them to tell that back to you, but it's really up to them, if they love you or not, and then if they're able to say it or not. But you've already said it, so you don't need to do anything. You can just sit back, chillax, and just be like, okay, I'll see what that person is gonna answer, if he or she loves me or not. And basically, you'll be fine. You've expressed your truth. You just go sit on the bench and just relax. The other person's gonna have to cope with expression. And that person is going to have to go through the same process and try to express themselves. Right. Now imagine this scenario. So we have two people who love each other. One person says, I love you. The other person says, I love you too. It's beautiful, right? Both people feel great. We all feel this loving, fuzzy emotion if you're capable of feeling emotion. And if you're not, I'm really sorry. Seriously. Go get help. Anyway, where was I? Scenario 2. This person says, I love you. This person says, pew. That person doesn't know what he or she feels. Or that person isn't able to express themselves. And this person is like, either or this person can be like, okay, I gave my love to this person without expecting anything in return. Now that I didn't really get anything in return, I didn't lose anything. I gave something away, but I didn't lose anything because I still have the love for this person in my heart. I still have that love, even though that person doesn't love me back. And even though that person doesn't love me back, I love him or her unconditionally. Why? 'Cause it's good for ya. Sorry, I'm I'm really new to making these videos, so bear with me. I'm professional. Alright, so now imagine the third scenario. It's this person, and there's this person. Person A loves person B, but person A doesn't know how to tell person B that he or she loves him or her. And so person A stays quiet and shyly, awkwardly walks up to person B and says, "Hello." And person B says, "Hello." And by the way, person B feels exactly the same way as person A, but person B doesn't dare to say "I love you" either. So, hence, the conversation goes something like this. "Hello, person B. Hello, person A. What are you doing today? I don't know. Do you wanna, like, no. What is it? Yeah, okay, maybe not exactly like that. It really kind of depends on the circumstances. Also, people don't look like fingers. But you already knew that. My point was that in scenario 3, two people don't know how to say "I love you." That was a bad scenario, by the way, but or like a bad play out. But sorry. The point is, this is not gonna lead anywhere. Okay, it's not gonna lead anywhere. No one's going home with anyone. And by the way, when I'm talking about this, I'm not just talking about romantic relationships or sexual relationships. I'm talking about friendship, agape love. There is all kinds of love out there. I mean, we all have different names for it, but it's love. So, really, just saying "I love you" is one of the most powerful things I think a human being can do. And however, it is only powerful if you say it and you mean it. And what will make it the most powerful 3 words you have ever said in your entire life is if you say it, "I love you, I love you," without expecting a reward, without expecting anything in return, because you're already so filled with love, and you love the other person, peace and love, bruh, so much that you really just don't care what happens, and you feel safe, you trust the fact that, even if that person's love isn't going to come back to you, you still have your love. Someone else is going to love you. But besides, just think about it like this. Like, if you say "I love you" to someone, it is more likely that they will tell you that they love you than if you don't say it. Because then it is likely that they won't tell you. And if they don't tell you, who's gonna tell who? So, my point with this video was, say "I love you" if you feel like it. There are all kinds of things that you can express, like "I hate you," and you can say that too, of course. And I'm not going to judge, but I just think saying "I love you" is beautiful. It's more beautiful, and it creates something really beautiful in the world. Beautiful feelings, beautiful connections, And when you say it, it gets more powerful if you say it and you mean it. In fact, if you don't mean it when you say it, just don't say it. Because, you see, like, if say, person A and person B is a couple now, and when person A told person B that person A loved B, she meant it. Not to be heteronormative, but when person B, who happens to be a man, in the shape of a finger, tells person A that he loves her, he doesn't mean it. He's just saying it because he thinks that if he says it, it's gonna be okay. But he doesn't mean it. Person A only said, I love you, because person A was afraid that person B wouldn't love her. Now what happens? What happens? Well, person A didn't really love person B. Person A was afraid that person B wouldn't love her. Which means that person A was coming from a space of fear. Sorry about the sudden scene switch. It's like I had to charge my phone because it might die any moment. And we wouldn't want that, would we? So if person A doesn't get person B's love, she is gonna feel like she's not worthy. She's not worthy because she doesn't get accepted by someone else. Person B said, I love you, because person B wanted to be in a relationship. Because person B thought, well, I mean, it's cool to be in a relationship. She's a pretty hot chick, and, we could, get together. Yeah, he's a douchebag. How long is the relationship gonna last? 2 years? 3 years? 1 day? 5 days? Who knows? Person A and person B are gonna be miserable. Because none of them really love each other. And I just realized that this got way too complicated. So let's just get back to the start, okay? If person A tells person B that he or she loves person B, and person A means it, it comes from her heart space, feels the love while she says it, and person A doesn't expect person B to love her back. That's not the reason why person A tells person B, I love you. Do you see what I mean? If you don't, please let me know. If you do, please let me know what you think and what you don't think, because, I don't know. In essence, don't tell someone you love them if you don't love them. Tell someone you love them if you love them. It's really quite simple, But it's just, there's all these blocks and barriers that we do have. And I'm very aware of that. And I'm working on this myself. It's very difficult to say things like expressing love, even expressing hatred. I mean, all those things are really difficult. But, I have a dream of a world where we are able to express ourselves fully and without inhibition, which is what I call authentic expression. And I would love for you to be a part of that dream. Click subscribe or something. I don't know. I know I love you.